Question: Are Jackie, Aina, and Dennis in Can We Stay? Because they've been living
to your
together forever.
mathematics.
No, but you see, I don't know. Maybe also it's having money. Because I don't know. There's something.
So
I'm sorry.
Can we say only
Can I put this in context?
No. I would like that to linger in the air.
Hi guys, Maruki Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Messy In Between podcast. How are you guys doing? Let's be like Kessie and ask like, Jenny, how are you
doing?
What's been going on with you?
How are you really?
And like Lydia, how are you guys? Anyway, guys, I just woke up. I'm so
happy. And then we've got we go now.
Yeah, we even forgot that we were asked, how are you? Should we respond
the
to the how are you?
I do not now, because of the way my mom does it, I think about it like, am I asking how are you?
In fact, I'm just like, should I even put a question box? Tell me how you are.
How are you really?
The truth is that I'm not that interested at this moment because there's not that much I can do about how people are.
Yeah.
Really.
No, I usually say, how are you? I hope you're well. I really do hope you're well, because if you tell me you're not.
But are you asking how are you so I can respond and tell you how I am? Because you're asking on a place
funny enough, when somebody does message me, like, I'm doing like this, how are you really? I'm like, babe.
Wow.
So
sweet. Yeah. It's like an actual person.
It is. Yeah.
Anyway, even me, I think I'll start doing. Will I? You know what? Let me not commit.
We can't all be Kessie Njoro. We can't all be Kessie Njoro. But you know what? We can all be subscribers.
Yes.
We can all be subscribers. There is nothing stopping you from clicking that button, putting the bell on so that you can know when we have another episode. It's such a quantifiable way of you guys showing your love, and we really appreciate it. We see you on the likes, we see you on the comments, we see you on the shares, we see that you on all the tags.
Yeah.
But we definitely always want to encourage you to subscribe so we can have a bigger community here online. And you are not left out if you're listening, because there is a way to subscribe. Just click that plus button on the podcast platform so that you can be part of your community. And also, if you didn't know, you can rate us on the podcast platforms. Rate us, please. Yeah, but I said this in another episode.
I recall.
As I'm
it's
telling
all coming
Murugi
back
as
to
well.
Me now. It's all coming back.
You can rate us. You can also interact with us. Funny enough, we found, some of these things, guys, we learned on the go.
Yeah.
And before, when we first started, we are the ones who are uploading all of these things. So there's some things we didn't know yet, but we know that you can interact, you can rate us. So please do that. And make sure you're following us on our social media handles, TMI Podcast KE, Lydia KM, and Maruki Munyi.
Yes. Now, if you are a subscriber, or maybe if you're a commenter, but you're not a subscriber, you're still an in-betweener. But I feel like there's half in-betweeners and then there's actual in-betweeners. And I feel like the people who usually comment on our videos are like you can't be commenting surely if you're not subscribed.
There's a level of arrogance, but some people don't know. So double check right now
that you're subscribed. Exactly. Even me. I mean, there's a time I thought I was following TMI, but I wasn't actually. I just recently followed us on Spotify. So yeah, because I didn't have my own Spotify. Yeah, exactly.
So I have Apple Podcasts as well.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I didn't have it, but like now I'm there. So I've added us one extra subscriber. Congratulations to me. But anyway, guys, we love reading your comments on our YouTube videos so much. In fact, I feel like that more than even views, do I quantify how much engagement a video? I never check on views.
I check on comments.
But I go there and I'm just like, guy, 150 comments. Hey, what one I nini? And I just love it so much because then we can see, okay, what parts, sometimes even the parts in the episode that we thought were the most controversial are not what people are talking about. People are talking about something completely different, which is great because then we get to see what do you guys care about, what do you want to hear us talk about. And it's really nice to just hear your views as well, because here it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
But now it can be all of us.
It absolutely can be. So this is why this episode is called An In-Betweener Once Said. And one thing which we want to commend you guys on is that there's so many ways that we are learning to agree respectfully. So many. Actually, when we look through the comments before, it used to just be anyone just come and just say anything. They just spit out something nasty. Whereas now it's like we're able to be like, okay, I understand Marugi's view, but this is what I think. Okay, Lydia, I disagree with you there
Yep.
because of da 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 da. And that is the way that we grow. When somebody goes in the comment section, they don't expect to be triggered
Yeah.
too because of the nasty things that you're saying. So thank you so much for keeping our comment section safe on here on YouTube as well as on Instagram.
Yeah.
And when you don't, you're blocked. But
Exactly.
anyway, you guys who are.
For YouTube, I love the blocking because the person is still going to watch your videos, but they
don't
just
have
won't
permission.
comment. So
Yeah.
you can't engage, you can't nothing, but you're still there. Because we know you want to watch, we know you want to keep watching, but you're leaving hate comments.
Yeah, and you can't make our comment section unsafe.
Yeah.
And by the way, before you're blocked, it's like we've seen there's a pattern. You're not coming here to expand the conversation. You're here to be insulting because you're dealing with your stuff. Anyway, we appreciate you guys for making it safe, and we love the kind of comments that you share.
Yep.
We love the conversation. So okay, this first one, this is from the episode of I Knew the Sex Was Great When. Joyce Mboro 8041 is saying, as a 32-year-old woman who has yet to have sex, TMI podcast has made me know what I want in my sex life, and I pray I get a good man who complements that. If we've done nothing,
God, at least that for Joyce. Did you say she's called Joyce?
Joyce, yes.
At least for
If
Joyce.
not anything for that, yeah.
Honestly, I'm so happy for the people who have gotten to experience TMI before. Because like the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, the 18-year-olds.
When life hasn't taken shape yet. When you know, like, you don't need to be taking crap from men. When you know that you can validate yourself and love yourself. When you know how...
We walked so you could run.
Honestly.
We crawled
we
so
walked
you could
through
walk.
the gutters.
Exactly.
And the hood.
Yeah, but to be honest, I feel like there are still some mistakes that you definitely will make and you should not beat yourself up about it, because it's one thing to be like, make sure you don't get into a toxic relationship in your 20s. But most times you won't know you're in the toxic relationship until now you've been dating that person a year and a half and you're like, wait, am I in a toxic relationship? Like some things are just experienced, you know.
And even as we make mistakes too.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna make yours and learn and have a podcast for other people so they don't make a mistake like you did.
Exactly.
Because all mistakes are different. Because even if it's like a toxic relationship for both of us, then there's elements which is just like, oh, that's not how I experienced it. And yours,
mine was like this.
Life is just about learning, honestly.
Exactly. But I feel like the generation after us, definitely they have a better experience, because as our parents were like, they would not say anything. And then also it was not the age of content. So it was like we weren't information, things like that. Even by the time you Google, it's just like, wow, there's all this information, but it just wasn't as mainstream. Like now kids who are like 12, 13, they all have phones, you know, things like that. So it's easier to access information, and I love it for them.
Yeah. But then sometimes I feel like it looks like it's a bit burdening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It looks like
you
it's
can't just
too
be
much.
a kid.
It's hard to be just a kid. It's like as soon as you get in, it's like you're kind of involved in this like computer system and this digital world where you don't even know, like, the human mind, does it have the capacity to deal with that? And then you're going through you're growing up with parents who were introduced to it. They weren't born into it.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like there's a bit of an overwhelmness I feel for Gen Z.
Yeah. Actually,
you know?
so it's empowering and overwhelming at the same time.
There's a responsibility that feels like it's too much. Also, it's like you need to know what your views are on everything. Yeah. Whereas us, we were allowed to be daft for a while. You could be daft. Yeah. Until like a solid 25, you were allowed to be daft. Now it's just like, you know, what do you think about the political climate? What are your views on that? I'm telling you. Because apparently you have the information, so you should know.
Oh God, yeah. What are your views on feminism? What are your views on what? Yeah, actually, it's actually really overwhelming.
What's her name? Yara Shihadi or Shahidi, right? She's how old? I think she's like 21. When she was 18, she was making like a campaign on like voting and, you know,
wow. But anyway,
what
that's
are you
positive.
doing at 18? Legs up in the air. Legs up.
Your mom at home praying, I just pray, Lord, you protect my girl Lydia in a criminal
risking it all. Well, they feel like they have so much responsibility.
I know, actually it's a lot. But I don't know, I choose to believe that society only evolves to the capacity that society is able to manage its evolvement or evolution kind of thing.
I feel like that's a bit utopian.
I know, but I
have to believe it.
And in fact, if anything, I feel like in this age, more than any other age, it calls on parents to be a lot more intentional because of that fact. Before it could just be like, you leave your kids, but they're not going to find a computer and start watching porn. You know what I mean? Because like, where are you even getting a computer? You don't have one. But like now it's like, they have all the access. Oh my God. Actually, when they start thinking about like, what could he be exposed to? Now Ethan, because he's 13, what could he be exposed to? What could he watch? What content can he come across? Because like sometimes you're even on a completely, maybe you're just on like Carrefour shopping app or something, and a random ad comes up. And you're like,
Yeah.
Wait,
and
what?
because everyone is always on phones, he doesn't even have to have
Yeah.
it from his phone.
Yeah,
There's all of
exactly.
these things, But I personally feel like the more in tune you are with their world, the more likely you are to understand like the ways to comfort them. And I think you are. You're very keen on what's going on with like technology and social
Yeah.
media and things like that.
Yeah.
And I see you said that you upped his
Yeah,
access to
restriction.
things.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're so intentional. I think you are the parent that you're saying that parents need to be like.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I
you
thank
are.
God because hey, you kind of have to, man. You kind of have to.
Mm.
So in the last episode, not last episode, at this point, it's the last
Or you
episode.
can just say which episode it is.
Stop normalizing.
Uh-huh.
In the episode of Stop Normalizing,
Yeah.
there was a huge debate in our comment section about the "Can we stay"
Yeah.
element. And I don't know. I feel like people kind of misunderstood your point because it almost came across like I'm saying "Can we stays" are horrible, and you're saying no, everyone should be in "Can we stays" because that's what the comment sounded like, which is
No.
not at all what you are
Actually,
saying.
there's nothing about that I actually said that.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do is like, okay, apparently there's a "Can we stay" pandemic. Where is it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Let's be curious about why this is happening because I mean, everyone has heard it.
Yeah.
Everyone has heard all the warnings, like don't move in with him, don't have kids with him before marriage. Everyone has heard it, but it's still happening. So to imagine, it's like, is every single person in that dynamic hating it and feeling that way? Like, is that true? I don't know if that's true. Me, I'm personally curious. My mom was married, so I've always believed that people get married before they even have children. That's what I know. But I'm allowed to be curious about how other people live in life because I'm living life with them.
Yeah.
They're here everywhere.
Exactly.
And in fact, a lot of your couple goals are in "Come with Stays." But you don't want to act anyone. It's like we are normalizing it.
Yeah.
We are normalizing it whether we like it or not. And I don't think, personally, I feel like the way you want to have your relationship is the way you want to have it. But Joe's point on like, at the end of the day, a lot of the times it's like, it's you who ends up being in a situation where you have no rights or all of these things. Then it's where you take the L.
Exactly.
But we are normalizing it already.
We are already normalizing it,
hard.
right? Yeah. So I wanted to share two comments that stood out to me. One is like from a legal context, and then the other one is just like a personal experience. On your point about like, there are people, I'm sure, who are in "Come we stays," which are happy and they are all excited or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is that we just never hear of those people.
And because
That's
there's
the
shame.
thing, yeah.
There's shame in it. People aren't allowed to come and say, "Come we stay."
And that's why they're always online saying hubby.
Huh?
That's what they always
But
online
they don't
saying
say,
hubby.
"Amina, come we stay."
Yeah,
like,
but they just
never
be like,
do.
"My hubby." But we know, ain't nobody calling their
They
husband
never
hubby.
do. There's shame around that. So people don't come and say, "Oh, hi, my name is Lydia, Amina, come we stay," etc. They don't. They're shamed. They're shamed behind it.
Okay, if you say it like that, yeah. But if you say, I live with my boyfriend, is that better?
Yeah, but you said that I was not in a "Come we stay" because he was living with my boyfriend. Is it "Come we stay" when you have kids? Or what constitutes a "Come we stay"?
I feel like,
because the second people have kids, everyone assumes it's a "Come we stay."
Yeah.
But when you're living with your boyfriend, it's like, okay, you're living with your boyfriend.
Exactly.
There are many people who live with their boyfriends, but you don't even ever think about it. When a baby is born.
When a baby is born. And then also for me, it's like also a time thing. I feel like if it's been like 5 years, that's definitely a "Come we stay." If at this point the government says that you can't actually go and register a marriage certificate because you've been living together that long, then I mean, that's a "Come we stay, you know. But I feel like, you see, right now, a lot of like circumstantial, like you have a house, I have a house, but you're always sleeping over at my house.
Yeah.
See, technically we're living together, but I wouldn't call that a "Come we stay." Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I get your point.
Yeah.
Honestly, it always seems more like, two cool people living their life when it's just boyfriend and girlfriend.
When there's
Once
a
you have a
baby.
baby, now people are just like, what is this? Like, why? All of this.
Exactly.
Yeah. I honestly, my context of "Come we stay" is a new concept, which is just like, I've learned over the last couple of years, understanding the Kenyan context.
Yeah.
Very recent. So even the potency of this conversation doesn't resonate to me in the way that it resonates to everyone else. And I gave that disclaimer. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw someone saying how, here people aren't protected, but in the European context,
that's the one I was going to read.
Okay, cool.
So this was Avi Joe Casper 6. Hey, you guys, You just put something like
YouTube.
Eunice Njeri and then we call it a night. Jeez. She said, for the cohabitation thing, what we need to understand is that in the Kenyan and African context, women are not protected by law unless there's a certificate to show for it. In Europe, for example, the Netherlands, your spouse can have your retirement benefits, transfer property, etc. without a marriage certificate. Your relationship is acknowledged. However, in Kenya, a woman is not protected, and regardless of how many children you bear for that man.
Yeah, and that's why I said, if you are listening, for those who are listening, is that I understand what I've seen, and I did law as well. I know cohabitants have rights, and it's like many people I even grew up seeing that were like, they're just partners. That's what they are. Even Bree's parents, they've been together since forever and ever ago, but they're not married.
That concept of like, this is my partner, that doesn't exist here.
That's exactly. So there's definitely contextual misalignment, right? So and I acknowledge that. So when I was speaking, I'm not supporting you. You don't going to be in a Come We Stay, because if you don't find me in one, you don't find me in one. But I think I wanted to be curious about that aspect because people are doing it all the time.
Yeah. A lady shared her experience and she said after 30 years,
there's no way that's a Come We Stay.
After 30 years of Come We Stay and 2 adult children, your kids are now adults. My aunt had, it's her aunt. My aunt had to still sign an affidavit that the father of her children was her husband. After 30 years, they also had to finally go to the registrar to officially get married. This was necessary so that she could conclude her now very ill husband in her company's insurance medical cover. And when he died, the marriage certificate was needed to get his terminal work benefits, get access to his bank accounts, to transfer ownership of his property to herself, etc.
I don't know Come We Stays that stay that long.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them do. Like, it's just like you come together, now you have kids, and then it's just like, why are we getting married?
Yeah. So on the legal perspective, obviously, there's nothing there. Like, you don't have, you can sue for rights. Like, a lot of, it's not that people, you can't go. Exactly. Who is taking someone to court to fight for the right to someone? And that's why marriage is easier. Yeah. Marriage is just easier because it's like, if anything goes left, here you are. However, check your husband's documents, because it's not always like that.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's not always like that. As in, there's people who make wills against their current partners. Yeah. And like, they're consciously.
No, but I don't think a will supersedes. Like, once you're married, half of everything that he has is mine, and half of everything that I have is his. And I think it's only his part that would be like, he would be able to give someone else, right?
Exactly, but his part should be yours. So why is he doing that?
You're right.
So you gotta be together. Even in this marriage, you gotta be together.
Don't marry someone who hates you.
Yeah.
Because then
yeah. So for me, it's like, if that's a choice you're making, I feel like women should be empowered to have choice.
Yeah.
But if it's not something that you're making, and according to a majority of you guys' comments is that in the Kenyan context, there's no way that someone doesn't want to be married. So usually it ends up that you're compromising. You're here because he won't give you what you want, and you want to have kids. And look at this other little dance. You want to get married before you have kids, right? But he's not marrying you.
Yes.
And so now you end up having kids because your time for kids is running out. And he's not giving you what you want.
You see, those are the things. And you see, it's the woman. It's always the woman. Yeah. And now you end up being a single mother, God forbid, because you just needed to have the child because your time was running out and you had wasted your time with this nigga.
Yeah.
Now look. Hey?
Get out with a heartbreak.
Honestly.
No kid.
No kid.
Because we forget. Me was ever in a relationship. He wasn't. I remember that. So, but you think if I had a baby now, you think would...
Question, are Jackie, Aina and Dennis in Come We Stay? Because they've been living together forever. No, but you see, I don't know. Maybe also it's having money. Because I don't know. It's something.
So Come We Stay. Come We Stay only.
Can I put this in context?
No, I would like that to linger in the air.
No, because I feel like in context with Jackie and Dennis. Jackie, I know if you don't follow her, please. She's a content creator. She's a YouTuber.
Surely.
Just come on. Yeah. I feel like it's clear when we are watching it, you both have money. You're both choosing to be here. It doesn't feel like it's circumstantial that I got pregnant, so now we're living together. Or it's cheaper for us to live together kind of thing. She can hold her own. He can hold her own. Unfortunately, for the Come We Stays, we see often it's that it makes sense for us to be together. It's a cost-cutting thing. I think the having money definitely plays a part, especially in our African or Kenyan context.
So I'm getting where you're coming from as far as your issue is that a lot of times these aren't done intentionally or from the perspective of choice.
Yes, exactly.
That I feel like is the key.
Yep.
And if it's a choice, like it's a choice how? But I get your point. It's like, oh, if you guys all have money, you just decide to live together. Me, I feel like once a child comes in, you feel different.
And guys, we love children here. I know we keep mentioning that, but we
children
just
are amazing.
Yeah, but we recognize, and Lydia has said
Children is
many
not a
times that seeing me mother has shown you what a commitment parenting and motherhood actually is.
Yeah.
And many people don't get that unless you've actually seen someone mother like firsthand or intentionally mother.
Yeah.
So it's the recognition that kids add a very different, unique, intense element to relationships.
And it changes everything.
Yeah.
It's just not a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not a conversation. So once kids are in it, it's like everything just starts being a bit more tricky. Like, okay, he's gonna be in your insurance. Am I in your insurance? Like all of these things become more of a thing because you have this shared human. Yeah.
God, shared human.
It
You're
is
right.
a shared human.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not like
who looks like your face and my face.
Yeah.
That's so sexy.
Yeah.
So cute. I love that so much. I liked this comment from someone called Ruvimbo. She said she thinks it's so cute and so respectful how Murugi tries to understand some of Lydia's points. And I like that comment because
Wait, what?
she thinks it's so cute and respectful how I try to understand your points. I feel like meeting you and the conversations we have challenge me in a different way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like because I was raised here, a lot of my views are like the views of like the people around me, the context I was brought up in. But I feel like many times when we speak, it allows me to see things from a very different point of view. Some of which I agree, some of which I don't agree with, but it's always eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I love that about this podcast.
Yeah.
I love
even
that.
you as well. Like I feel like we're so similar, but every so often we have a conversation about like something that's like super like at the core of our values, and I'm just like I forget that we weren't raised in the exact same house, in the exact same
sisters,
place.
Actually.
We are not twins,
We are
you know?
not, yes.
So it's also, I also get to see a different world through your eyes as well, like based on everything that you've seen. And you help me understand the Kenyan context a lot more.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, because it's like, you feel it. You feel it. I can see, like even your passion.
Yeah.
Stop
this is all I've
normalizing.
known.
Come and stay. It's in her spirit, guys. She's not joking. Stop normalizing it. Yeah. So I feel like if you're going to choose and you want to be in marriage, somebody said in that one that it's easier to be in a kamuse because there's an ease to it. Like getting divorced, like a lot of people struggle to get out of their marriage. They're unable to get out of it because like you need to give your reasons why, like the division of assets, so it can be harder. So there's a freeness that sometimes they can come because you just get out.
It's just like
and done.
Yeah.
It's like what happened? There's that as well, but because there's not risk either, some of the benefits and some of the legal kind of rights that you have, you don't get that either.
Yeah. So one thing, it's not even a comment that someone sent, but it's something we were talking about with Lydia earlier, is that people should stop normalizing single parent households, which I know already just sounds like what, you know, because so many people are single parents these days. It's almost become more normal to be in a single parent household or be a single mom or a single dad or whatever than it is to be I got married and we had kids, or we had kids and we're married or something like that. And I feel like I get it. I already see where people's arguments are going to come from, but I feel like people in a way, because a lot of people are finding themselves in that situation or are finding themselves in that situation
blindly,
it has now become like let's just not judge anyone. Let's just not judge anyone and let's not say anything about it. It's just a normal kind of like parenting household. What do you think?
Okay, so this is my thing, right? I think I said it in the last episode. If we are not being selective about who we have kids with, then dynamics where two parents aren't together are gonna keep being more normal and more normal and more normal and more normal because anyone is having kids with anyone. Otherwise, it's just a broken relationship. And then you move on and just, remember that ex? That's it.
Yeah.
But when you do have kids, then it's a very different dynamic. One, for me, is that I feel like we are not open enough about some of the things that children who are raised in single parent households, the things that they miss. There are so many things that aren't present in that household that really every child really ought to have. And I'm not referring to the single moms who is just like, number one, anybody whose partner has passed away, they ended up being a single mom. There's many situations which you're not in control of, but the ones that you're in control of, like, let's really be serious. That's why when you said that lady had said that when you were having that conversation about, you know, women having kids later, someone was just like, okay, a partner is not necessary, she can just have one. To me, that's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that it's like, to you, it's not a problem. To you're not seeing what else is missing when you have one parent in a home.
Exactly.
And yes, we are saying that a healthy single parent home and a healthy two-parent home, go with a healthy two-parent home.
Exactly. It's obviously not referring to a situation where it's like you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship and it's toxic.
No.
Obviously, that's worse than being in the single parent household. But I feel like it went from, oh my God, this person has a child out of wedlock, to like now everybody has a child out of wedlock, or everybody is just like, you know, everyone's just a single parent. And I feel like that's increasingly dangerous because, one, it makes people, again, less selective about who they're having children with, and less family planning is happening, and not necessarily contraception, but family planning, like having kids when you've actually planned to have kids, especially people who have kids really young. And speaking as someone who had a child really young, that's not an experience that I would have chosen. Well, I mean, at that time I did choose, but I was stupid and I didn't know what I was signing up for. And I feel like, obviously, now in hindsight, I'm like, a 19-year-old has no business being a mom. That it's just not. You're just not in the capacity in terms of your body, in terms of your mental headspace, in terms of your emotions and how you carry yourself. Even financially, a lot of 19-year-olds aren't in a position to take care of children. And I just feel like we need to not judge people who are single parents, but not. I don't know, let's not almost like encourage, because I feel like sometimes it's like almost encourage. It's like, now, oh yeah, power to the woman, single women, and we celebrate them and it's amazing, but we shouldn't be aiming for that. I don't feel like that's what we should be aiming for.
I agree. I feel like what's happened is that there's more. It's more like we are not looking at the issues why this is happening. And as I said, we are not being clear enough about what the kids in those homes don't actually get. Because guess what? I was raised by a single mom. My parents separated when I was 9 years old. They were married before mine. So single parenting is not to say that you weren't married. No. After your divorce, what do you think happens? You're a single mom or you're a single dad. So I'm being raised in a single parent home is that my mom wouldn't have chosen this. It wouldn't have been a choice for this to happen. And before, where it used to be like, do you know what? Let's encourage families staying together and all of these things. It's become more like, okay, well, he messed up. It's always him, by the way. He messed up, and now power to you, you know, take care of your kids. And I think that's good. And I saw my mom doing that. But honestly, it's not an empowered place to be. Trust me. If you can't have a choice, have it that way. But what I also would like to have a conversation is that instead of making it from like a single mom home where somehow the father evaporated, we can lean into like, where's the dad?
Oh, right.
It's never placed that the father abandoned the kids, if that's the situation. Because just because you're a single mom doesn't mean the other partner has abandoned. But there's not enough emphasis on that. It's like, yes, you're a single mom, but like, why do we put emphasis on this is a family where the father doesn't show up?
Oh my God. Remember the difficult conversations we were talking about, the uncomfortable conversations from the last episode? Then that's definitely one of them. Ooh.
Yeah, like we can place more emphasis, because it tends to be, it's the single mom's problem. It's a single mom's fault. But really, truly, maybe she's doing it alone because somebody else doesn't want to do it with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that not the person who's crucified? It becomes you, the mom. It's like you're the one with the scarlet letter, but it's because
he doesn't walk around and he's not with the kids, so no one can tell he's a dad. He's just a guy.
That narrative is what makes me sad, and it's feel like, wait, the single mom is the one who's being crucified, and she's the one who showed up. You know?
Crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a way we need to be super clear about what the disadvantages are, so that we can aim for a dynamic that's a two-parent healthy household.
Yeah. Oh, damn. That one's heavy. Would love to hear your comments about that. But I don't even need to tell you, because someone was already typing from the first sentence. You know what we should normalize is like, sometimes
take a breath.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like someone will listen to us speak, and like, I've already said my point. Let's say you say your point, and that's maybe why people were misunderstanding what you are saying, because I feel like maybe you say something like, you know, I am not against people living together. You haven't even bothered to hear the rest of what Lydia said, what the defense was, how she explained it. But already you're just like, no. You can't be what you. Take time to listen and understand what we are saying, and then you type your comment. Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
This is from the episode things that life the things that life is teaching us. This is Squidward Money 6492.
My God. Wow.
I'm a king betweener, and I think that intro is everything we needed. It is very classy and oozes feminine power. At TMI Podcast KE Hongera.
Oh, thank you. Guys, we love it. We love it so much. I really love that intro. I really love that intro.
I really do.
Yeah.
And you guys have been giving us compliments on our production, how clean our visuals are.
Thank
Production
you guys.
team, you've been told.
Thank
Clap
you
for
guys.
yourselves. Yeah, we have a fantastic production team. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, guys. We
Thank
love
you
that you
guys.
see some of the effort we make
Exactly.
to, to keep upgrading this podcast as we go.
Exactly. And also, production is not cheap. Shooting intros is not cheap. These mics, this one can pay your rent. Let me tell you the truth.
You
Let me
see
tell
when
the
you
truth.
hit it, you
see
start
when you hit
shaking.
it, we're like, oh,
Shaking.
oh my God, it's honestly it's problematic. And so when you subscribe, it enables us to get more paid partnerships, which enables us to create even unpaid episodes, and it just basically keeps the podcast going. So please pause at this moment and subscribe if you haven't
Thank you
already.
so
Maze will be
much.
so happy. This comment is from the Stop Normalizing, but they said we should normalize not generalizing that all men cheat. No, boo, it's just your man. Speak for him. There are loyal ones out here.
Yeah. By the way, someone was in that said, "What we need to stop normalizing cheating." It feels odd that there was a time where that was isolated incidents.
Now it's like, wow, your man don't cheat?
Yeah.
What?
Not even your man, even women. Like, it's just what this is what happens. This is what is happening in life. And I would love to stop normalizing it, honestly.
And you know what I think is sad about like the way the Kenyan context operates right now is like the things which you always find people joking about online, just like talking about, hey, Nairobi, it's just sharing, it's per person sharing, do you what? Like people are just always liking those posts, commenting, do you what, on Twitter, on Instagram, like it's a joke. But yet when it happens to you, then it's like suddenly you're sad and you're crying. But those are the ones that's the same context within which you're liking those. So even your man is also there liking those, knowing that everyone is cheating. Even your babies, they're liking them. Everyone is cheating.
Standard.
Horrible.
What a poor standard. Let me tell you this. Sometimes what I feel when I feel most lonely when people are not cognizant of the power of their voice, the power of what they post, the power of what they are sharing. That makes me feel so lonely in this world because I'm just like, who am I sharing the world with?
Yeah.
It's like when you put something out there, you are confirming a narrative or you're creating a new one.
Yeah.
And so many people are just comfortable regurgitating the old one.
It's just a meme. It's just a meme. It's just
over
a
and
this.
over again. Whereas it's like we are contributing to the world that's hurting us.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Oh my gosh, you're
What
so
a shame.
right. Yeah.
What a damn shame.
Yeah. So yeah, we should definitely stop
Definitely.
normalizing cheating. But the element of like stop generalizing that all men cheat. I don't know if it's just the fact that when men do cheat, there tends to be more noise about it, as opposed to
the
like
woman who's
no
screaming
one,
about it.
exactly. Or it's just like if it's a celebrity, it'll be all over. But they're not writing articles about like, oh, this man stayed loyal all through September.
Yeah.
So that's why it seems like all men cheat, because like when one does, it's super loud and it's just like, oh my God, everyone. But I don't know if I was to give a percentage of men cheaters versus non-cheaters.
I am giving men a solid, like, I feel like it's right there. 45, 55.
Yeah,
Seriously.
they're about, yeah.
Honestly,
actually,
like when the DMs, dare you start a conversation about people cheating?
Yeah.
Women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't even.
Yeah. No, me, I don't even look at it as like a man issue.
It's just like people.
It's
people
an
generally.
issue in life. Yeah, it is. This is from the episode, Things That Life Has Taught Me. Teresia Minor 8235 is saying, life has taught me that one bad experience in a certain field or situation doesn't mean you will always have a bad experience in that area. It just means that you have yet another chance to do better. And I feel like that's a really good way of seeing life, because the more something bad happens to you in one particular area, the more you're likely to believe that this is how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And then that's how you're unable to change anything. Or like how someone says, me, my parents never used to see this. My parents never used to do that. Then you believe, because you've never seen it modeled, you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
But that's not true. I feel like we are creators. So in every situation where you do bad, you have another chance. If one doesn't work out, here you go. Give it another shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that one is a very normal human thing.
To do
like
what?
the way you're like, like it's like reinforced, positive and the
Oh, for
negative reinforcement.
sure.
So like for sure, if every
Mm.
time I stand on this carpet I feel pain, and I've done it 4 times, and
Yeah.
every single time I've done it,
You
obviously
won't.
I am unlikely to. But I feel like, especially in the world of like social media, seeing that it's possible for someone else to experience that thing without feeling pain, I feel like that enough is one of the benefits of social media for me. It's like when I see happy
Proof.
marriages 30 years later, when I see, you know, people enjoying a really great relationship with their kids, or like making new friends in their 30s, things which I'm just like, that I don't think that's possible for me. I'm like, if it's possible for them, are they I don't know, are they aliens? Are they from another country?
They
Are they
don't
from
have
whatever?
two heads.
They literally are just another person like me. So
Yeah.
if they can have it, it makes it possible for me.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
favorite thing about working on social media, because if someone sees me navigating through something that they thought, no, you're supposed to, this is where life ends, right? Especially now in my single season, the way people are perceiving me as if it's like, oh wow, so you can have a single life like this. It makes me feel so
Exactly.
happy that
Yes.
if you do end up being single, your fault or not your fault, whatever your choice, if you do, you will remember that actually it doesn't have to be this like misery inducing experience. It can be intentional, it can be fun, you can experience it with more, you know, you can be more present in it, as opposed to kind of this thing you're trying to rush through to
Exactly.
get where you're always supposed to be, you
Exactly,
know? So
yeah.
yeah, it makes me so happy
Yeah.
to think about that. But I get it. It's not easy to keep your heart open after you've had a few heartbreaks.
Yes.
It's not easy to have faith in this man we are talking about after they've done you dirty. So it's not easy.
Yeah.
But what do you want?
Exactly, that's the thing. For me, I feel like I also I can't think of anything in life which I've ever seen someone else have and thought I can't have that.
Yeah.
And especially as pertains to like money. I just know that I will be immensely wealthy. I just feel it. Like when I see super rich people, I'm just like, that's possible for them. It's possible for me too. And it's just like something that I'm just like, I look forward to that time. And especially when I look at my journey, it's like, I wasn't poor, but like I definitely wasn't comfortable. And when I look at my comfort now, I'm just like, I believed I could do it. And now here I am, I've done it, you know? And I know poverty is one of those things where it's just like, if you have struggled your whole life, you've always been poor, you have it, and now you don't even have an education. So you're like, will I ever have the chance to, you know, like make it or like be financially stable? I know it can be difficult to believe that it's possible for you, but imagine it is.
Yeah.
Imagine it is.
I think I have the same level of abundance when it comes to impact in the world.
Yes.
I feel like it's so important that I'm here.
And it is.
It's so important to the world and to the progression of humanity.
Please, you need to put that one on like a whatever. That's as good as thank God
It
today didn't start without me.
matters so much. Like, because if it didn't, God wouldn't have me here. So I always feel like there's a reason why I'm here. Like, what is the purpose of my life? I'm always so keen with that. But I do understand like some of these things are even taught. Maybe it's our parents who encourage us to believe in ourselves and all of these things. But just because you haven't seen a model doesn't mean you can't create it. So
exactly.
Yeah, it can change that narrative.
Here's a controversial one, again from the Stop Normalizing. I really liked the comments on that one. They were banging.
People are waiting to type,
Manzisherini podcast, because clearly you have so much to say.
Yeah.
Someone said, I already don't agree. We should stop normalizing being a socialite as a career. Let's use our God-given talents and education to establish professional careers.
What if my God-given talents are my tit and my ass?
And
you
those are your
if
abilities.
I was shaped like Kim Kardashian, I'll be here doing this podcast.
Not everybody can bounce Pondidi for 25 minutes non-stop. That's a talent.
No, I feel personally that people who have this very strong notion of this is the way work looks like, right? Really resent people who are working in different, especially easier ways.
Yeah. Or who aren't even working. It then look like they are working, but they are getting money.
That's why people are always frowning down upon us as we don't work as content creators. Then you're hearing the hundreds of thousands someone is getting paid, and you're just like, you're annoyed because, again, if you are accepting these cages of having to rigidly work in the mine or whatever, and that's what you've chosen for yourself.
In the mine?
In the mine. In the mine, day in, day out.
What is a professional career? Yeah.
70,000 in my bag. You know, that's frustrating. But own that. I feel like personally, if people want to make money from just their eyelashes or walking, for me, it makes me feel so happy to see people making money so easily. So easily.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm personally not here for the whole like sleeping with married men and stuff like that. That's just not my value system.
Yeah.
But as in, you're posting pictures of looking cute and you're getting paid.
Exactly.
Get paid.
Yeah. And then also I feel like there are those socialites who like became famous, who tried their best to become famous and they did. Then there are others who like, it's just like, they just happen to be famous because they just look good. And when they post pictures, a lot of people come and follow their page.
Yeah.
So do you want them to not make money from already?
Wow.
We just started. Hata hatujafika point 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you want that person to not make money from the fact that all this, I have this entire audience? I don't understand what is meant by a professional career.
It's the usual doctor,
that's the thing,
lawyer.
doctor, lawyer.
Our grandparents
And
were
that is,
saying
it's such a backward view. It also goes back to what you said in the last episode about you deserve something like you deserve good things. You don't have to have worked for them, because like even me sometimes I don't technically see some of the work that I do as work, because it's like I am sitting on this couch and I would have posted the couch anyway. It just so happens that now I'm being paid 80,000 to take a picture of it and say I got it from furniture wherever, you know, kind of thing. And I feel like I love this concept of like not having to toil super hard for money,
can
and
be
like
easy.
Money can just come. And it
Life
just
can be
comes.
easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I feel like the more people I see doing it easier, the easier I want it. Yeah. I want things to float. I want to feel like someone brings me here and maybe I get paid to just snore on the podcast.
That's the thing.
Like, it can get easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't agree.
I know. I also love, Kenyan socialites may love like when I see they've gotten famous from like, you know, having their body online and whatnot. And then they take that and they turn it into an actual physical business, like Vera Sidika and her like salon or whatever. Other what do you call it? Socialites who have started makeup brands and things like that. Me, I'm just like, get your bag. I admire it actually.
So
I'm like,
much.
I'm like, you took a picture in your cute body and now you have millions and now you've opened a makeup brand. Good for you. Yeah.
I love it. Sometimes there's many of them I don't follow because sometimes I feel like our value systems don't
sure,
align for sure.
But get your bag.
But when I see some videos and like maybe I'm seeing the comments and people are so triggered, I'm just like, what are you doing
people
here?
Are angry.
Me, I find it so funny because I'm just like, she's saying that to provoke you because she knows you're stressed. Your stress is so funny to
angry.
me. Yeah, no, me, especially women, I support you in making money. Like,
make your money. Okay, go ahead. Do you have one? Or should I read one? Okay.
So this is also from things we learned in life. I really like that because the comments were so diverse. Faith in Jockey 1471 is saying we all need love. All this shouting about being alone is a lie. Everyone needs a good, kind, loving touch. I thought she was gonna say man, but
even me, I was just like, man.
Touch. Everyone wants to be wanted and loved, but we are so entitled to our hurts, aches, and pains, and comfortable being bitter. Wait until someone holds you, just a warm embrace, a kiss. We all melt. This is where I stand 100%. 100%.
Yeah, when you said this is where I stand, I was gonna be like, are you about to refuse that, you Pisces? Are you?
Love is a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful.
Part of the narrative which I'm trying to change in this my single season is that in this season you don't need to be in hell. That's all. But the love being important, I feel like you guys saw how I was when I was in love. It was in love. I engulf myself in that period because I love that. I love companionship. I love being with someone. But when you're alone, it doesn't have to be held. That's the only.
So love is beautiful, but it doesn't mean that you can't have beautiful without being in love.
100%, especially romantic love. Especially romantic love. And we also want to upgrade the quality of this love that we are seeking so that it's not like jumping from poor relationship to poor relationship.
That's
we want to upgrade it. But love is a beautiful
Love is so beautiful and it's so amazing. But I agree because I guess at some point, if you've been in several relationships and now let's say you get to 35 and you get to 40 and you start feeling like, oh, it might not happen for me. It shouldn't be a resignation to now my life sucks. And I'm not going to be able to, you know, find any kind of happiness. And I guess in that context is when people start saying that they can have a child on their own or something like that.
And guess what? I understand that.
Which we understand. We absolutely understand.
Tough.
But yes, love is so sweet.
Love is so
love
beautiful.
Is amazing. Me, Aki, I'm in love. Wow.
You are?
I'm so in love.
You look in love. Oh, yeah.
I'm just so...
Yeah.
I'm just
She's
so in love.
We'll tell you why.
My man so much. My man.
What were you told by
man.
Rono?
Oh, no. Universe. I didn't mean that. I don't mean
Until
that.
when you say my man, he starts feeling his spirit.
His spirit is rising to do you like he has never
I
done
disagree.
it before.
And also, we need to stop doing the stupid men who embarrass you. Men who embarrass themselves.
Exactly. That's it.
You be alive, you be enjoy, you be in your my man season.
Exactly.
If it ends, it ends. And then
Ikiisha, itaisha,
Itaisha.
please.
And
Thank
then?
you. I really liked this. Okay, let me not say I really liked it, but I thought it was debatable. So someone said, Claudia Kananu said, alcohol culture. Now they're talking about alcohol and how we talked about, I think, stop normalizing having to have alcohol to have fun or something like that. Alcohol culture is heavily promoted by influencers who are paid to do so. There are very adverse effects of alcohol on youth and everyone in general. It's amazing how you guys point out the negative effects of alcohol abuse. So I feel like
as influencers who have been paid.
Who have previously been paid. Exactly. I recognize that the alcohol industry, especially in Kenya, really they seem to be the ones who have a lot of money to pay a lot of influencers to talk about their alcohol a lot. And I recognize that, there's mostly that one company that we're talking about. I like the fact that they tell their content creators to always put the disclaimer of like drink responsibly and whatever. However, one would say that technically the responsibility is you as the drinker. But again, there's a lot of people on social media who are heavily impressionable. Is that the word? Impressionable. And they might not be able to do that drinking responsibly. And it can't help to be seeing this cider and then this beer and then this spirit and then whatever. And then think, because if the people who you admire so much are always having that alcohol when they're having fun, then that means that you need to be having the alcohol when you're having fun.
Yeah, I get it.
Which is dangerous.
Like influencers, advertising are a huge part of the alcohol culture. And it's because they're making some of the biggest corporate companies a lot of money. And when corporates are making money and then they're like, it's all intertwined, you know? So I definitely own that for sure. That's part of it. However, I mean, people are not stopping to drink tomorrow. If all influencers stopped getting paid, people will still drink. So I feel like there needs to be more education on the dangers of alcohol, more conversations about like having a balanced life, more conversation about drink responsibly, because freedom is okay. People are allowed to have the freedom to drink. We just need to balance the ends a bit more so that it just doesn't seem like it's all the things. By the way, now that I don't drink, every time I watch movies, at the end of the day, everyone drinks.
Everyone
pours whiskey. When you go to a meeting, which one do you want?
I mean, exactly.
Madness.
Double whiskey, double everything.
Madness. Yes. I really appreciate that it's madness, but remove all the influencers, go to your TV, watch 2 shows.
Honestly,
watch 2 shows.
Even YouTube, anywhere. Ukuja huku kwa podcast, watu wanakunywa wine.
So I think we need to uplift the voices on the on the negatives and being more cautious about it, so that people can have more information, so that they can have the discernment on how they want to interact with alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's only do.
Okay.
We don't care. Thank you. There's a comment that someone called Lynette Chepkoech 8701. Why does YouTube always add numbers at the end of people's handles?
I think maybe you don't have a choice. Your name is common, so now you need to.
But everything, Debbie Namuli. How many Debbie Namulis do you know? How many what stuff do you know? Not many, I bet. Yeah, I'm wondering why do they. And then the numbers are always so random. Anyway, Lynette said in this episode, one thing, I can't remember which episode this was, but she said in this episode, one thing that came out clearly is the different life phases each is at life. Murugi and Lydia, you bring the diverse points of view. We will see more of this with time. Then she said she felt she related more with me. I think also that's one of the things I love most about our podcast. We are both in our 30s. I'm married with kids. She's single. We have, I mean, you grew up in what do you call it, in the UK? I didn't. I grew up here. You're slim, plus size. There's many things about us that are the same, but many things about us that are different, which I think allows us to have very rich conversations, which I absolutely love.
Because we see life in very in different ways, just because of some circumstances which are really not really on us, but some circumstances which is like our own life choices. So I like that. I like the diversity of whatever. And I've told you've opened me up to a different world. So I've become more sensitive to some of your own personal experiences, and I'm sure with me too. It's like because you see it differently. Now you're just like, my friend sees that way. So you just naturally become a bit more sensitive to that world. So
another thing with me and Lydia though is that despite our differences, there are some very unique things that are like, not everybody has these things, and I'm so grateful that we both have experienced things. Like, for example, growing up with a father who has, like challenges with addiction or something like that. I feel like that one thing
That's
alone
so odd that
makes
we have
me
that.
love you so much, because I'm like, anytime we're having any issues or whatever, anything talking about the past and like things that we went through, it's like she gets it.
You get it.
Like you understand. You don't have to start explaining like, oh yeah, okay, fine. So when
this is
somebody
how
in
it
your
works.
life is in addiction, this is what happened. Like she just understands, and like you're empathetic about it in a different way.
Very different.
I know exactly how that feels. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I
really
tell you, like,
that.
I rarely bother you. Like, well, it's not bother. Let me not say, but like before I call you about something, there's fire.
There's
something
fire.
is alight, my good people. And when that day when I called you, because I was struggling with that, it's like I knew in the whole planet, I don't know who would get it
the way I
that
would
you
get
do.
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that makes you so special.
Yeah.
Our love for our sisters, our relationships with our mom.
I'm so glad we both have sisters. Yes. Our loves for our moms. Yeah.
So much.
So
Yeah.
much.
Our commitment to the things that we do, to our work, our passion for purpose, and even the way we relate with our audience is very similar.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the things that are really that enriching friendships, we have them just right. And our differences, I feel like, only complement our worldview more than even create different, like create friction.
Yeah. I wonder if we would ever discover, like, as we're having conversation, that we have like a very specific like different like viewpoint as regards something which is like a significant value system or whatever.
If now we haven't,
it's been long.
If now we haven't, because one of the things would be maybe like parenting.
Yeah.
And I see how you parent and the way you are, as far as how kind you are, how compassionate, how you respect your kids. I support, like that's the one which could be a big one. But we've seen each other in all
like
the
you
stages.
end up if you're a bad mom or something.
Oh yeah, imagine.
And I'm just like, you're just like,
I just
I
want to
left
take
her at
care of
home.
them.
Here we've been here the whole day to my podcast. Oh yeah, just
She's
left
in
the
the car.
baby.
She's in the car. Oh, by the way, now since you
go check on the baby.
Go check on her. Like,
check
just
on the window. Don't even
madness.
go down. Yeah.
Yeah, so those kind of things. But I don't think so.
I
feel like
can't
because
imagine.
we know who we are at this age. It's like, I feel like we can only evolve. Maybe we might evolve differently.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'd be catastrophically
I think so
we're
too.
so yeah, I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is from the I think this is from the I knew she was a good friend when Mish Nduko 1369 is saying, constantly torn between calling my friends out and understanding that we all love our lives different. We all live our lives differently. So this is the dance I would say. If something is not hurting you personally, you always should consider whether or not you're projecting. Like, just always think about it, right? Then the second thing is, if you want, like we said in the last episode, are you aware that your constant drinking and having sex with random men could lead to disease and potential death? Yeah. You are aware?
Yes, I'm aware.
Then you need to go home. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes like you want to let your friends know, because you want to hold your friends accountable that they don't make the same dumb mistakes, but also you don't want it to come off like you're holier than thou and you know better, because that's going to create another friction. Yeah. So letting your friends be aware, like, okay, these are the dangers of what you're doing, or like, I think this is a side you're not seeing, or this is your blind spot. Yeah. But unfortunately with friends, you have to leave it there. And maybe if that person is too different from you, maybe they don't need to be your friend.
That's the thing. I feel like beyond just like, if this thing is not hurting you or affecting you, is it hurting or affecting other people that you can see? So for example, if you know that I'm still a horrible wife to Zach, like I'm always insulting him, I'm always whatever, like that's not hurting you, but you know it's hurting my husband.
It's definitely hurting me to watch you hurt someone else. You know? Like, it's like, not one of those you drink too much, like you're going out too much. I don't like that. Yeah. But that's whatever. Exactly. But yeah, if you're causing harm to others,
But I feel like with a friend of mine, if something is like, it affects me enough for me to feel uncomfortable when we're together, I would tell you like maybe 2 times max. Yeah. There's no way, if I already told you that I don't like it when we go out and I always have to carry you into the car, then if I've told you twice, now at that point, it's up to you to make a decision whether you still want to remain friends with this person. Yeah. Or maybe just have the conversation of like, I've told you many times that this doesn't, I don't really like this, so I don't think we can keep being friends anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
But again, are you willing to have that uncomfortable conversation?
It's true. But I know sometimes it's like, you haven't done anything wrong to me, but your value system is off. Yeah. I am willing to let go of friendships when I see that you're growing into somebody who your values are just like this. I don't want to be a part of this. Yeah. Yeah. You're allowed to.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have another interesting one?
Okay. So this is from the episode of what to expect on your first time having sex. This is Pwanja. is saying it's all good to provide the information and experiences, but also caution the youth on the dangers of casual sex, such as pregnancy, STDs, abortion, regret-related traumas. Okay, the dangers of casual sex or regret and related traumas. A lot of young people go in with the mentality that it's all fun and games because that's what they see in movies and hear from peers, but the negativity is often downplayed or not spoken about. Also, sex is a very individual experience, and whilst a lot of people may have good first-time stories, there are also a lot of others who don't, like us. And it's good to listen to those two and make an informed decision if hooking up for 5 to 10 minutes with someone you most probably not want in your future is a good idea. Not to sound preachy, but there is a reason God forbid sex before marriage. I have listed but a few. So use a weighing scale to decide for yourself if waiting is really worth it.
Why a weighing scale?
I don't know. Personally, I feel like that was one of the most balanced episodes we've ever done.
Yeah.
Which was like, look at how stupid and daft we were. This is how you can avoid all of that, you know? Yeah, I feel like it was. But
I do like appreciate her comment. I think our episode was balanced, but maybe like a lot of the narrative that's out there exactly are definitely not balanced. All these other things about like regret and like the potential consequences on your are you using a condom? What if you get an STD? What if you get a UTI kind of thing? So I do appreciate what you're saying, and thank you for giving that contribution. I feel like we did our part to give both sides of the story, and I think I've said many times, if I could turn back time, I definitely would not have broken my virginity at that, or rather had sex for the first time at that 15 years old. Definitely I would do it differently, 100%.
I feel like if anything, we were more pushing towards weight.
Yeah,
we were more pushing
in fact
towards
for sure
weight.
Yeah, and I've loved actually on that episode there were so many people saying that they haven't had sex yet, or a lot of people, some even who are older than us, some people who are saying after watching the episode they've decided they just want to wait, and we applaud you. We definitely are not here to start telling people, please you people go and have sex. Why aren't you having sex? What we are here to do is that if you have chosen to have sex, we want to give you the tools.
The information.
Here's the information. Here are things to think about. Here's what you can expect. These are the standards you should be setting. This is what other women are experiencing. Is he doing what he needs to be doing? Are you doing what you need to be doing? That's what we're doing for the people who have chosen to do it. But those who have chosen not to, also no judgment here. In fact, we are clapping for you and good for you, and we wish you all the best.
100%. Maybe we should have an episode on like
waiting.
STIs and STDs, sexual health.
Yeah, on sexual health. We've done quite a few episodes.
We've done a lot of contraception, but not enough on like STDs, the information out there. Like, where can somebody get, I don't know, a jab when they find that they have chlamydia? Where is it free on?
A jab?
Yeah.
For chlamydia?
You don't know that? You don't know that?
Why do you know that? How do you know that?
I told you I did sex ed since forever.
No, you didn't get chlamydia?
No.
You've not had chlamydia?
Yeah.
Expose. Have you had chlamydia?
Have you?
Right now as we are speaking, I don't even know. Like, I know chlamydia exists as an STI, but I wouldn't be able to tell you like now, these are the symptoms, so I think somebody has chlamydia.
Those are the kind of things we need to talk about.
Damn, yeah, actually that would be a really good. That would be
That's
a really
our next
good
episode.
One.
We're going to talk about sexual health.
Exactly. I feel
STIs,
like
STDs, all of them,
how
so
to
that we
protect
know
yourself
what we're
against
about.
it, what to do if you think you've been exposed to something, kind of thing. Because
where
I
are
feel
the
like
places
that's it,
that we can get or you can get information? I don't think it's enough out there. So thank you. You've inspired a whole episode.
You have, exactly. Thank you so much. That has been really nice, really eye-opening. As she said in the beginning, thank you guys for leaving comments that are thought-provoking, that are you. Actually, one thing about TMI that I feel like is different from a lot of other YouTube channels and podcasts, the comments are always like, it's almost like they're just well thought through. They are meaningful.
They have
they are rich.
substance.
They are literally, the fact that we can create a whole episode based on your comments.
One comment.
That is in itself inasema kitu, honestly. Yeah. So thank you so much for leaving all this information out there. We feel like we are conversing when we read your comments. So we really, really appreciate that. Let us know if you enjoy these kinds of videos, and we might do them more often. And as usual, obviously, if you have any other video ideas that you want us to execute or anything you want us to talk about, do let us know in the comments or DM us on Instagram, TMI Podcast KE, and we will definitely give it some thought.
One thing some people want to talk about is dating, because to be honest, I haven't had much we haven't had much conversation about the single season, right?
Yeah,
So
actually, we
should
need
do,
to get
like,
into that. Even an
dating.
episode just on online
Yeah,
dating.
yeah.
I feel like that could be a thing.
Those are 2 episodes we've just created
Somebody
from thin
write them
air.
down.
Write them down now.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you for growing with us. Thank you for giving us the space to also be wrong and to correct us when we are, and to give us more information to enrich and what we talk about. This is truly, truly a community, and you are appreciated as a valued member.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.